Today we're making tortilla de patata, otherwise known as the Spanish omelette. I'm half Spanish, so I kind of grew up with my mother making these often. We're going to need 1.5 kilos of potatoes, 1 onion, get a Spanish onion if you can, but to be honest it really doesn't matter. Just a decent sized onion is important. Salt, olive oil, don't skimp on the olive oil, make sure it's olive oil, not anything else, and 6 eggs. Let's get cracking. How many potatoes you will need for your recipe will depend on the size of your pan. I've got a 26 centimeter pan, or 10 inches. And a general rule of thumb is fill your pan with potatoes till they're slightly overflowing, and that's how many you'll need. Start peeling your potatoes. So there's all the potatoes chopped. Now, it's going to be difficult to cook all these potatoes in that pan. Add a good amount of olive oil. Get your oil up to temperature. You're looking to soften the potatoes, not colour them. To that, add your onion. Now I've got my cooker on a high setting, number 8 out of 9, and that's because I've got a cold pan. As soon as it's hot, I'll bring it back down to 4 or 5, and then low and slow. To this, you're going to want to add a generous teaspoon of salt. I'm going to go with 1.5. So while your potatoes are cooking away, start cracking your eggs. So now your eggs are cracked, you're going to want to add a pinch of salt to each egg yolk. Give them a whisk. Put that to one side. You won't be needing that until the potatoes are cooked. These potatoes have been cooking for about 10-12 minutes so far. You can see the shape's really breaking down. I'm occasionally stirring every couple of minutes or so. A little bit of caramelization like here in this corner is fine. It's really good. Flavor-wise, makes it a bit sweeter. One way to check if your potatoes are cooked, take a knife, give the potatoes a little prod, and strain the potatoes through. Leave those to drain through. What that does is 2 things. First of all, lets the oil drain out, and also lets the potatoes come down in temperature a little bit. Because the next bit is to add them to the egg, and you don't want to cook the egg, which is what will happen if you add the boiling hot potatoes to the egg. So after a few minutes of letting the potatoes drain, we've got this much oil left. We can save that. Don't throw that away, it's good stuff. Pour your potato mixture in and start to mix it into the egg. Once fully incorporated, you need to wait 5 to 10 minutes, and what that does is it allows the egg mixture to soak into the potatoes until it looks something like that. So leave that to one side, wait 5 minutes. In the meantime, grab the pan that you're going to cook it in. To this pan, add a drizzle of the oil that you use for cooking, not too much, and ideally you want to use a non-stick. So that pan's nearly at temperature. I can touch the edges there, I can feel it's hot. Okay, with your oil now at temperature, add the potato mixture back in. Now at this point, start to flatten it down. Set a timer for 4 minutes. Now while that's cooking, with a new spatula, you're going to want to start to shape the edges a little bit. So what I mean by shape, I mean push it away from the pan edge, so you're giving it a dome effect. Even though it's non-stick, you're going to want to give it a shake in the pan every few minutes, just to prevent the potato from sticking. This omelet's been cooking for 5 minutes, and I'm going to place a plate on top. It has to be wider than the pan itself, and in one swift action, flip it up and over. Add another drizzle of the saved oil back into the pan. Push it and scrape it back into the pan. Notice I'm not pushing down on the omelette too much. I'm letting gravity do the most of the work. I'm just making sure that as it goes in, it doesn't fall apart. There you go. That was a little tricky that time, but we got there. Okay, so with the omelette back in the pan, set another timer, 4 to 5 minutes. So the omelette's had 5 minutes on each side now. I'm going to take some paper towels, put it on our big fat plate. That's just going to soak up any extra oil that comes out of the flip. Take it, one swift movement, flip it, and done. You see this is soaking up the excess oil that we don't really need. And here I've got an extra plate. We're going to put this one on top, and we're going to flip it again. Tortilla de patata, really simple to make. Few ingredients, fantastic for lunch or dinner. Let me know what you think in the comments, and please consider liking and subscribing.